And one day you be working every day, and next thing you know, you in the draft. Like, anything can happen.
So you guys, I want to bring out this video on Emmanuel Maldonado just because we definitely got some things we got to talk about. So just recently, Emmanuel made a post on his Instagram story and he said, "Keep me in y'all prayers," and he put the 2 prayer hands emojis with a purple heart. So you already know we're going to go over this, and let's just talk about what's going on behind the scenes. So we all know Emmanuel Maldonado is currently 20 years old. Right now he's playing overseas at the Baloncesto Superior National League that's located in Puerto Rico. And back on March the 1st, he got drafted 11th overall by the Mets de Guaynabo team. So here's the thing, Emmanuel only played 1 game with the Mets, and throughout that game he played 4 minutes and only had 1 steal and shot 0 for 2 field goal percentage. So 2 months later, then the Mets decided to trade Emmanuel Maldonado to the Cangrejeros de Santos team for a 2nd round pick. And so far, he only played 3 games with that team and averaged 10 minutes. And he only put up 3 points, 2 steals, shooting 1 for 7 field goal percentage and 1 for 1 from the 3-point line. So that's the reason on why he's averaging 3 points, because he only made 1 3-pointer. So as you can see, just looking at his stats, he's clearly not getting that much of playing time. That's why his numbers is looking like that. And on top of that, he is a rookie playing overseas. So of course, it's going to be a little harder for Emmanuel Maldonado because he's competing for a roster spot. Even though he was selected 11th overall in the draft, it's still different for Emmanuel Maldonado because he literally just got out of high school. He's only 20 years old, like I said, and he's competing against grown men coming from different leagues and countries. So of course, he still has to solidify his spot and just hold his own crown. And that's the reason on why I feel like the Mets ended up trading Emmanuel Maldonado after 1 game, because they probably found somebody else that was better than him, even though they did drafted him in the draft. When you think about it, they traded him for a 2nd round pick, so he got replaced that easily, you know what I mean? So he definitely has to show out and he has to perform on a daily basis, because there's a lot of guys that's overseas and is definitely entering that draft every single year. Now, when we rewind back to his high school situation, we all know Emmanuel Maldonado during his freshman year, he attended Colonial High School in Orlando, Florida, right? So once his sophomore year came around, that's when he transferred to Downey Christian School with Julian Newman. Then once his junior year came around, him and Julian Newman both transferred to Prodigy Prep Academy. But here's the thing. Now, the only reason on why Emmanuel Maldonado wasn't getting that much recognition playing with Julian Newman, because all the eyes was on Julian, you know what I mean? So throughout his sophomore year and junior year, he was not getting no college recognition or offers or anything. Even though during his sophomore year, he did throw the ball between LaMelo Ball's legs when LaMelo was playing with Spire Institute. I know you guys remember that. Emmanuel always been a good player on his team. It just he been in the shadows behind Julian Newman. So once his senior year came around, that's when he finally decided to transfer to a different school called Team Dynasty Academy. And once he got to that school, he started to receive way more recognition. He was already holding 1 offer from Bethune-Cookman University, but he started to receive interest from different schools such as Georgia Tech, Kansas State, Iowa State, and Florida Gulf Coast. And of course, the main reason for that, he was balling out. And on top of that, Overtime, Ball is Life, Slam, and all of them, they was literally pulling up to his games and just giving him the recognition that he deserved, how they was doing Julian Newman. Because honestly, in my opinion, if Emmanuel would have attended a different academy during his sophomore and junior year, he would have already been receiving multiple college offers. But him playing alongside with Julian Newman is the reason on why they wasn't really taking him serious. But on top of that, he was getting that bag. So it was kind of a win-win for him, because he still was getting paid playing at Downey Christian and Prodigy Prep. So once he finished off his senior year at Team Dynasty Academy, on June the 10th, 2021, that's when Emmanuel Maldonado decided to sign a 6-figure 1-year deal with Overtime Elite. So instead of him taking the college route, he just decided to sign with Overtime Elite, get paid, and do his thing in Atlanta. Throughout 8 games, he averaged 8 points, 2 rebounds, shooting a 36 field goal percentage and shooting 55% from the 3-point line. And towards the end of the season with Team Elite, he started to bring up his numbers and averaged 12 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. And on top of that, I believe they won the championship. So him signing with Overtime Elite definitely was a good decision, because 1, he secured the bag, and 2, he became the first Overtime Elite player to get drafted to another league. And on top of that, he made history in the Overtime Elite League record book. So he's in the history books for overtime, and he's playing overseas. So it's just like his career is coming real fast, because even he was saying during the interview, anything can happen. You can literally work all day and literally out of nowhere your life can just change. And I feel like he was talking about, of course, when he was in high school playing with Team Dynasty, then out of nowhere he received a 6-figure deal from Overtime Elite, He played 1 year with Overtime Elite, and now he's overseas. You know what I mean? So he's getting paid overseas, and most likely he's going to be staying over there. He just got to keep doing his thing and just keep grinding. Because him being overseas now is a whole different ball game. He literally has to compete for everything. He has to compete for his minutes, his playing time, and just everything in general, because it's so much of competition. You already know his main goal, he's trying to make it to the NBA. It's already good that he's playing overseas, but it's just like, for him to even get to the main goal, he really has to put in more work in the gym, you guys. Even though he got that money and he did everything he had to do in the States, now his career is really starting to kick off. And I don't know what's really going on behind the scenes, because when I was looking at some of their schedule games with the Cangajeros de Santres team, I didn't see Emmanuel Maldonado's name on the roster. So I don't know what happened towards the end of the season with him being on the team. But like I said, on August the 14th, he made a post on his Instagram story and he said, keep me in y'all prayers. So hopefully it's nothing too serious. I don't know if he's going through any mental struggles or anything, because when you do think about it, he is a young kid playing overseas by himself, and he used to stay in the States, such as Orlando, Florida, throughout most of his life. So now that he's overseas, he got to adjust his life to however it is over there, and just like, you never know on what he's really going through. And I remember I actually talked to Emmanuel Maldonado a few times while he was a senior in high school, and we were just talking about, such as me helping him as in starting a YouTube channel. I remember around that time he was talking to his ex-girlfriend and they created a channel together, and he also wanted me to help him start a 2K channel. He wanted to do so much stuff, such as just become a content creator. So you never know, that might still be on his mind, and that's probably on why he feel the way he feel. But he is overseas and his life is differently, so of course he just has to adjust on how he's living now. But you never know, that might really still be on his mind. But on the positive side, he is playing overseas. He's a professional athlete, and it's just like, he's not that far from making it to the NBA. All he gotta do is put up good numbers and enter the NBA draft. So when you think about Emmanuel Maldonado, to stay locked in the gym, keep doing what you're doing, bring up your stats and your numbers, then hopefully you can enter the draft and you will get drafted from overseas. You know what I mean? So it can be a win-win for him, but he got to stay locked in. And on top of that, I don't know if he got any women problems. I know he been dealing with some stuff with his ex-girlfriend. They did break up a few times and stuff like that. So it's just like, now that he's overseas, of course he's in Puerto Rico, and there's a lot of other type of women over there. So you never know, he might be living his life or whatever, but he could still be feeling some type of way or be in his feelings with all the stuff that he had going on in the States. You know what I mean? Because like I said, we can't forget he just turned 20 last month. So of course he's going to have emotions, and hopefully he's not dealing with no injuries or anything like that. But I definitely want you guys to leave your comments and opinions below on how y'all feel about this. I thank you guys for watching. If you make sure you like, subscribe, make sure you press the notification button. T-Gang, we out.